They thought it was their dream home. They had no idea it was a nightmare. This is the true story of the Watcher. The year was 2014 and the place was Westfield, New Jersey, for the Broaddus family. It was the perfect town, a quiet suburb with tree-lined streets and a large park in the center. And then there was the house. It looked like something out of a magazine, a sprawling 6-bedroom mansion with a pool and a hot tub. The only problem was the house at 657 Boulevard had a very dark secret. The first time the Broaddus family saw the house, they fell in love. There was just one catch. The previous owner had died inside the house under mysterious circumstances. But the Broadduses weren't worried about that. They bought the house and moved right in. Then the first letter arrived. It was an anonymous letter and it read, "Beware. The Watcher is now in the house." The family assumed it was some kind of sick joke. Maybe one of the previous owner's friends or relatives, someone who didn't want them living in the house. But then the second letter arrived. This one read, "You should leave this house right now. I am your worst nightmare. I have been watching you." And then the third letter arrived. It simply said, "I am the Watcher." Each letter was more terrifying than the last. And soon they began to include specific details about the family, things that could only be known by someone who was watching them. One letter said, "There are many ways to get rid of people. You may want to watch your back. Young blood." Another letter said, "You are all alone. I know what you are thinking. I know what you are doing. I know when you are coming and going. You can't hide that basement." The family was terrified. They called the police and showed them the letters. But the police were unable to find the Watcher. They put out a public statement saying, "The Westfield Police Department is investigating a series of harassing letters that were sent to the residents of 657 Boulevard. The investigation is active and ongoing. Still, no one knows who the Watcher is." As the years went on, the Watcher continued to send letters to the family. Sometimes they came in the mail, and sometimes they were simply left on the doorstep. The family tried to ignore them, but it was impossible not to be affected by the sinister words that seemed to predict their every move. "I know what you're doing," one letter said. "I know how you live." Another said, "You can't hide. I see you when you think you're alone. I am your worst nightmare." In the end, the family had to put their house up for sale. They didn't want to live in a place where they couldn't feel safe. But before they left, the Watcher sent one final message. "Congratulations. Now the Watcher has a new home." To this day, the Watcher has never been caught. What would you do if someone knew everything about you and was watching from the shadows? Let me know in the comments below.